Welcome to Guilty by Association's podcast with your host, Big Mike, L Boogie, and Alexander. We are shedding light on our life experiences from our own guilty flaws, lessons learned, and still learning as men, and taking a positive outlook from negative circumstances. Blended with tackling hot topics impacting us and our communities today, GBA is about making moves. We will be diving deep and shedding light on important social issues that keeps you in motion. So come take a ride with us through this thing called life with exciting discussions and interviews that will be brutally honest and fun. As you enjoy, remember that you will be guilty by association. To be a good parent, you need to take care of yourself so that you can have the physical and emotional energy to take care of your family. Michelle Obama. What's going on, good peoples?
What's going on?
What's up? What's up?
Man, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. I know y'all hearing some extra voices in the background there. You know, somebody gonna be another one of those episodes. But I'm Alexander.
I'm Big Mike.
I'm L Boogie.
All right. Well, we're gonna do an introduction here shortly. But before we do so, I want to give a special shout out to the folks out in Haiti, man. You know what I'm saying? I know they're going through some serious times. I definitely want to give our prayers, our condolences out to the folks out in Haiti.
That's bad. That's terrible to hear about what's going on out there with everybody.
Yeah, definitely to them.
Definitely. All right. So it's been a minute, fellas. So we got to catch on up. I know the last episode we did men's health. I know L Bull, you took lead on it last time. So I'm going to pass the mic to you. But beforehand, I know we got some special guests that we definitely have to introduce onto this episode, into this topic. And so I'm going to pass it on to L Book.
All right. I knew he's going to do that. So just let everybody listening out there know we're really excited about this program. This episode is something special to us because it's a continuation from men's health. So if you talk about men's health, of course, you got to also talk about women's health. So we here at Guilty by Association with all men. We know nothing. That's why we're going to rely on these ladies who are joining us this evening. We have somebody who's been highly requested to come back. We'll make some noise for K-Dub. K-Dub is in the building.
K-Dub in the building.
What's going on, K-Dub?
What's up, black men? Good to be here.
How are
with
you?
Y'all.
All right,
Good to see you.
No, it's been a while, but good seeing you. But we also got a special guest. We're going to kind of rely on this young lady who is we're going to call her a guru for the evening. Because we talk about women's health, and her name is Marla. And Marla, I don't want to introduce you. I want you to actually give the people your background, your credentials, and tell them what you're working with, so you could tell them how you are the expert on women's health.
I'm Marla. I'm a fitness and nutrition coach. I do personal training and small group training. And I just guide you to your best life, males and females, and just try to educate and try to get you to your best self.
Nice.
Fantastic. Okay. And how long you been doing this, Marla?
I've been an entrepreneur in this for about 15 years.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, that's good because
we got some nuggets coming.
Yeah.
Nuggets.
Yeah, so we want
definitely
educate us because, like I said, we can only speak on the male perspective. So tonight we want to talk about the female perspective, and we definitely want to spread love to all those listening, male and female, about your health. So whoever you are, whatever gender you are, or whatever age, demographic you're in, we want to send some love out to you and see. Hopefully, we can talk about something that will help you out.
So Elbow, do you think we need to recap from what we talked about in the last episode?
Yeah, that'd be fine. So to recap what we talked about the last episode with men's health, we talked about a lot of different things that we as men in our category of age, what we deal with, what we need to understand about our bodies and what we should not avoid doing. I know for certain we talked about physicals and exercising and diet and things of that nature. I think the
Your
biggest thing
family history as well.
Right, we talked about history. I think the biggest thing we have as Black males is denying our health. We can't deny our health. We can't run like we machines forever and ever. That's just not going to happen. There's too many new diseases. There's too many new methods of getting healed. So why deal with that? If you can get something done and get taken care of rather than just letting it rot and fall off, why not deal with it up front, right? So I mean, honestly speaking,
That visual.
yeah, because back in the day, that's what our kinfolk did. We just they just rode it till the wheels
I
fell off.
cannot unsee that.
But we talked about a lot of good stuff. Hey, that's how it was. They kept it moving. Grown men, they just chop off that finger, keep it moving, wrap it up. What they say, rub dirt in it, rub some dirt on it, keep it moving.
Hashtag no writing off, yo.
Yeah, no rotting off. So we touched about a lot of different things about the male perspective, and it's going to be kind of like this is the equivalent of what we talked about, but on the female perspective. So we're going to talk about some of the same things, but some things don't apply. So obviously not going to talk about that, but we definitely want to get a perspective from the female point of view in regards to health. We're going to go around and take some turns off and on, and me, Big Mike, and Alexander is going to ask some pointed questions to the female panel. But we also want to get your point of view on certain things. All right. So what we talked about last episode, we talked about getting physicals. We talked about getting our prostates checked. We talked about having a workout routine, and we talked about diet. So all the things we talked about things that how we dealt with it. First and foremost, we talked about how we are all getting our own physicals, and we stressed about getting a physical. At least once a year.
And the BMI.
And the BMI. We talked about BMIs. Because of the fact that we don't want to run by what's online as far as what dictates your health as far as these numbers are concerned. Because all of us, we all know we are 6 feet and over. So our BMI, according to what's online, I'm obese. But according to my mama, I look good. Yeah. So it depends on how you look at it. So as far as you're concerned as a health professional, should we rely on the things online? Should we rely on those things? Or what should we rely on in regards to our own health?
So BMI is just like a basic chart, like based on age, weight, and height. It puts you in a certain category, and it doesn't take race into consideration. So African Americans, we have like a higher muscle mass than any other race. So when I have my clients, I focus on their body fat percentage, how much fat to muscle do you have? And your BMI, it is a good rule of thumb, but it doesn't dictate everything. But it just wants you to be in that healthy category. We as Americans we just have too much body fat, and that puts you at high risk of all disease and stuff. So when you're over age 40, in women and in men, your muscle mass starts to decrease with age. So what we used to do when we were 30 years old, we can't do anymore and just bounce right back. And even when we were 20, it was all right, well, I'm gonna just do this. Men, y'all probably did push-ups before y'all are about to go to the club and come right up real quick. You know what I mean? But as you get a little older, it don't pop off like that. So they use that chart to see how high of a risk level you are. Is it truth to it? Yeah, 80%, but it's not everything. But it is all right, if you're 6 feet tall and you're over 220 pounds, you might have too much body fat, and it puts you at high risk.
Mm-hmm. Well, I appreciate you clarifying that, because I think we touched on that last week, and we definitely we don't want to follow a chart or let anything per se guide us. We want to make sure we feel good about ourselves. K-Dub, what do you think about BMI? I'm not asking you BMI. What do you think about BMI?
BMI is the devil all the way from the pit of hell. It should be destroyed and eliminated from the American English vocabulary. Marla was my trainer way back in the day. And Marla had me looking so good, I messed around and got pregnant. So I was walking around like looking extra delicious, and here we are 15 years later. I got an almost 15-year-old son. So, but what I do, my BMI, I was an athlete coming up. I was a cheerleader. Then I had a little stint playing basketball. So I always considered myself a fit person. And even when I was at my most fit, my BMI was still out of that chart. So I've never really paid that much attention to it personally. I know what healthy feels like for me. I know what healthy looks like for me. I know when I put on a pair of jeans and they don't come up anymore, and they were coming up last month and they haven't been in the dryer, then I know it's something going on. Ain't nobody mysteriously come in my closet and shrink all my clothes. So, I use those more realistic, benchmarks as far as healthy. Like right now, my BMI, they probably ready to pull an ambulance up to my house and carry me out on a stretcher if somebody was looking at my BMI right now. Because, I've been in a house with kids. I'm not at my healthiest right now. So, and I know this.
Okay.
I don't need a BMI to tell me this. I know this, and I know what I need to do to get back right. So, that's what my take is.
So there's three things. So you can use BMI, which is like the doctor's chart, that all the doctors are going to have the same one. You can use percentage body fat, and then you can also use like hip to waist ratio. So they say like if you measure like around your waistline and it's over, like really if your waist is over like a 36, it puts you at high risk for like cardiac disease and things like that, because that means you're carrying too much weight around your middle. And even for us, Kim, like our body types, like our waistline is smaller than our hips, but it puts us at lower risk if your waist is smaller than your hips are. Right. How sometimes people are walking around, they got this big old like trunk, their middle's all big and round. That puts them at higher risk for like heart disease and all those things. So you can look at both things, but we all know when we out of line.
Right. Yeah. Because I'm all the way out of order right now. I recognize, I realize this for my own personal edification. I need to hit the block. So.
Well, you know what? We appreciate your honesty. That's a great
Yes.
thing to say. That's a great thing to say, because a lot of people, what do you think, Mike? You think there's a lot of females and males out there lying?
Both, in denial, just like Monique used to do all them fat jokes, and look at her now.
Right.
She flaunting. So,
Right.
I think we all can be in denial at times.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, but at least you're honest with yourself.
And it's hard.
And want to do something.
It's hard,
about
especially
it.
like.
Oh, the older you get.
Yeah. When it's hard, then you marry. Like my husband, he came in here and bought me a plate of a bowl of pasta. He wants to feed me. He thinks this big old booty is luscious and all that, but it's not healthy. He like it, but he gonna be the one.
He want to feed you, like,
yeah, he gonna be the one burying my fat ass if I don't get it together. So
it's love. It's love. It's love.
Speaking of booties, I got a question for you. No, seriously. When you get your clients, do women come in and be like, they want to target a certain area, or?
Oh my God. Some people come in there, they want me to like create a whole new body. They be like, oh my God, like I really don't. They be like, I don't want to lose any weight. I just want a waist, and I want my booty to be round like yours. And I'm like, okay. So we got to start somewhere. You got to drop some pounds first. You can't get a 6-pack and you're like over like 250 pounds. Like, what are you talking about? Sometimes I think people aren't realistic.
Men do the same thing though. We'd be like, man, we want to be muscular, but you want to lose the gut, and we're like,
man, y'all make me sick because y'all can do it so fast. Y'all's metabolism is so fast. Women, it takes us like forever. Men, y'all could do like 30 days and be like right back at it.
Well, y'all retain more water though, right? I mean, doesn't a woman retain?
We're complicated.
And I'm glad you point that up, Mike, and also Marla, because of the fact that we talked about men's health. There's a difference between men's health and women's health, because let's say out of the 5 of us on this panel, we all worked out together, and did 30 days straight, we all gonna have different results, correct?
Yeah.
Because we're male and female. So we're gonna have different body makeups, different chemistries. Females have different pH balances and things of that nature. So it's a lot of different differences. So as females, what do you think is most important in regards to your health? Looking good or feeling good, in a healthy status?
I think both. I mean, I think looking good and of course you want to like feel good, but women, we want to look good. It's all about like how we look. I mean, it goes hand in hand, yes, but it's really about what you eat. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Sleep and eat, like how you feel. Most of the time people don't really feel great. But if you feel good, you're going to look good. So I think they just coincide.
Okay, let me ask you this then. So, and y'all admit, just be truthful. Is it more important to get in that dress, or is it more important to be healthy when you're not wearing that dress?
I'm trying to get in that damn dress by any means
right.
necessary.
Okay,
Because you got your man, right?
Yeah,
You got
I'm
your man, you got
trying to
yourself.
keep them.
Yeah, you got to keep them. You just got to get the dress. Might have a little stretch in it, but you just got to make sure.
Yeah, I need all my clothes to have some spandex and some lycra.
Yeah.
So is it?
I was just saying, I have a young child, and Marla, you do too. So, our kids are little. We got little girls. So I want to look good. Yeah, I want to go out and I want to stunt, and I want to show the young girls how you do it at my age. I want to do all of that, but I also want to be around for my 7-year-old. So the health part of it is probably going to tip the scale a little more than getting into the dress, because I want to see my child grow up. I want to be around for her. I want to be able to take care of her. I don't want anybody else raising my kids because something that happened to me and, I'm out of pocket somewhere. So, I want to be healthy for my kids so I can be there for my children. So, at this point, you asked me that same question about 10 years ago, I would have been like, bah humbug. I'm getting in the dress. I'm stunting on these fools. I'm going to the club. I'm doing all this. I'm in Miami. I'm in Vegas. I'm doing the thing. But right now, I want to be around for my kids. So that's where I am with it right now.
Well, I think it's fair to say that, healthy is sexy too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it goes hand in hand. If you feel good and you want to be around for your kids, you're going to look better. Like, you might not be wearing the same dress. You might be wearing like some biker shorts and a t-shirt, but you healthy and running after your damn kids.
That's right.
It's just different. Like, your responsibilities are different. So you got to be healthy. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what shape you are, what size you are. Like, you have to be healthy and work your heart, because it's kind of like your health is at stake, especially with this COVID and all this stuff going on. You better do something.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's an honest answer. We appreciate that. Now, in regards to your health, how important is it to you as females to getting physicals? When I say physicals, that's all inclusive, whether it be mammograms and such, etc. How important is that in regards to women's health?
I do it all. Very.
Yes, I want to make sure my Mirena stays in place so there's no accidents. You want to make sure.
No slippage. And
you want to repeat that?
You want to make sure your birth control is still in place so there's no accidents. You want to make sure it ain't nothing like funny going on.
That's right.
And your boobs, your blood is good. Like, especially when you're older, when you're over 40, you better get that check in.
Now, let me ask you ladies something. Do y'all prefer a male doctor or a female doctor?
Oh, good question.
It doesn't matter to me. I just want somebody good. I want somebody who knows their shit. I don't care. Like, a man delivered both of my babies, but they were good doctors. I trusted my life in their hands. So I don't care. At this age, I don't care who sees me naked. At this point,
just get in there.
I let it all hang out, so I'm not tripping.
Either way, you have to worry about a woman and a man, so just look in there.
Great point. Great point.
Yeah, as long as you
That's
know
a
I
what
good
just
you're
got
looking
another
at,
show topic.
and as long as you can recognize if something's not right, that's all I care about.
Right.
You can be a
Black,
Smurf as
white,
far
doesn't
as I'm
matter.
concerned. I don't care.
Yeah, what
Yeah,
about
you could
black
be
or
a
white?
little. You can be a small person.
Yeah.
Yeah, what about race? Does that matter?
Nope.
No,
I just want you to know what you're doing.
that doesn't matter.
I just want you to know what you're doing.
Okay.
That's fair
Yeah.
enough. That is fair enough.
Yeah.
So now you're getting this physical. Is it important for females to know their family history?
Oh
You know,
my
like breast cancer,
God.
things of that nature.
I don't think so.
Look.
I don't think so because African American women, all the medical history, we're all going to have it. High blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, some risk of cancer, somebody in the family, somebody got it. So it doesn't. And then what? Is that going to change anything? No.
So I went to the doctor with my husband. And so when I'm in the doctor, I know my family history. I know my grandmother and her sister died of breast cancer. I know the people in my family who have diabetes, the people who have heart conditions. I know all of that. I go to the doctor with my husband. They ask his family history. He's like, I think my mama had a cold last week. Like, he don't know nothing. He don't know shit about nothing. And I'm just like, dude, you got to know this stuff. So I think it's important to know. Like because I knew that breast cancer ran in my family, and I had my grandmother and my great aunt die of breast cancer, then that caused me to be on the mammogram track a lot younger than normal. So usually as women, you start getting mammograms around what? 36, 37, almost 40. For me, I was getting
I got my first one this year.
Yeah, so yeah, you get mammograms like what, at 40? Like normally it's like 40 or something like that. Yeah, 40. So I was getting I've been getting mammograms since I was in my late 20s. And that's just because I had a family history of breast cancer and I was able to articulate that. And so I've been getting checked for that early because it runs in my family. So I think it's important to know your family history, because let's just say I didn't know that and I'm just starting to get a mammogram like 5 years ago. I don't think that would have been a good look for me personally.
Gotcha.
So I guess the prostate for us, and then it's the mammograms for the ladies when it gets to
That's
40s,
right.
Basically, right?
Yeah. So do y'all get your prostates checked?
That's so personal. Oh,
is that the one with the finger?
That's the finger?
Yeah. And they
Yeah.
Audience, if you want to know, go and listen to our last episode.
Yeah, I listened to your last episode. I heard y'all shying away from the finger.
We will not discuss that.
Everybody here knows about the finger.
Y'all were saying y'all wanted a doctor with little hands. You wanted
it's the craziest things
you wanted Doogie Howser to do your prostate to a teenager.
Next topic. But it's true though. But Marla, that's an answer question, because unfortunately, in order to know your status, you got to go through the weirdest situation in order to find these things out. You know, in the day and age we live in, I want to know everything about me so that I'm not surprised by it. I don't want somebody finding me laid out on the floor. Right. So I want to make.
So you don't mind getting your prostate checked?
Well, I hate getting my prostate checked. I hate it, but it's necessary. It's a necessary. I'm at the point now, my age bracket, I have to get a colonoscopy. And the last time they called me to schedule it, I let it go to voicemail. But
really?
I gotta go ahead and follow up with that. Yeah, I gotta follow up with that. So no way around that.
You better go get scoped.
I definitely will get it done. I'm gonna definitely get that done before the end of the year. But and I would compare that to what you females, the ladies, go through. I know it's not comfortable for what you guys got to go through. It's a lot of different testing. You guys get poked and prodded, and I've been married, so I know exactly when after they get that test, they come home, they feel
violated. Yeah,
they
and
don't
this is something.
violate. They don't want nobody
Right.
looking at them, touching them, nothing. I understand. I just have that wine waiting for you, and I just leave you
And this is
alone.
something we have to do on an annual basis, like on the regular.
Right.
So,
Well, that's good. I mean, it's good to make sure you actually are doing it. So that question leads to another question. I mean, that answer leads to another question. So would you press that issue to other females, whether it be family related, your clients, or women in general? Would you pump up to like, hey, are you getting your, not being nosy, but are you getting your exams? Or are you encouraging them to do such? Or do you think that is this up to that whoever their individual person to do that?
No, you need to have that done. You should get an annual checkup.
I'm saying, so do you encourage others to do the same?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, I have a,
Because like in
I
the
have a
black
15, I
community,
have a daughter. She turns 15, next Wednesday. And so I told her, I said, hey, the pediatrician we've been going to every year, this about to be your last time seeing him. You about to go to the big girl doctor with me. You gonna have to. So it's gonna be
Next
some
level.
things going on that's gonna put you in the big leagues.
Change your
It's
life.
gonna change your life. Put your big girl drawers on now, because
Mhm.
it's that time. It's that time. So
Right.
it has to happen.
Wow.
So as a young girl, I had to go through it. She gonna have to go through it, and the earlier you get used to it, the more normal it becomes a part of your life. So it won't be that bad. And hopefully when she gets to be an adult on her
I was
own,
gonna.
she'll continue that and keep up with her health, because it's important for us women. We got a lot going on below the waist.
Yeah.
We grow life. Like, we bring people
Yeah.
into this world. Like,
hey, salute on that. Salute to y'all doing that. I like that.
Yes.
Salute to all the moms and mothers,
that's right.
aunties and grandmas.
So we got to take care of ourselves.
I got a question.
We have to take care of ourselves. If it wasn't for us, the population would stop. So
Right.
Mhm.
Right. So I got a question. So you just made me think about something. Is the transition, like you said, to your daughter putting the big girl pants on and all that? Is that a traumatic, or is that a major thing that happens for young girls? Like, I guess I'm assuming it's extremely important to have mothers involved to help encourage you, and as they make that milestone. Can it be traumatic? Or
I think it can. I think it can be if you don't talk to your kids. Like, I have two teenagers. I got a boy and a girl, both of them 15 years old. So I've always kept it 100 with them about everything, and I use real talk. I don't say pee pee poo poo, all that. Like, look, this was going down. This how it happens out here. And so I think if you continue to have those real conversations, it won't be as traumatic. It's going to be traumatic anyway. There's nothing I'm going to be able to do. She's going to have to get up on the table. She's going to have to take her clothes off, get naked, and let a stranger stick something in her private area. There's no getting around that trauma. But
Right.
I tell her, this is something I do every year, and this is going to save your life. So we have to do it as women. And as long as you take care of yourself, and as long as you not out here wilding out here in these streets, you're not going to have to worry about anything. It's going to be a routine exam. Now, when you start getting out here being grown, doing too much, well, then the most is going to happen to you when you get up in that doctor's office. So,
then you got to show all those pictures of syphilis and stuff. And
exactly. Yeah. This is what a sick poom poom looks like. Not a good look.
You want to be up in the clink? They showing them pictures.
Right.
And trust me, nobody's going to want you. You can be as cute as you want to be.
Right. Nobody ever.
I'm glad you said it.
Trust me.
They say Big Mike.
They can't blame Big Mike on this one. So.
And so all my husband wants to know is, I need to know when you come back, is she still a virgin? Because you better still be a virgin. That's all he cares about.
Oh man.
He don't care about no ovaries being right. He don't care about.
He want to know if the cherries been
He
popped.
want to know if that package, if that seal been broken on that package. That's all he want to know.
Yeah.
Ti. You pulled a
Yeah,
Ti right there.
he wants to pull. He wants me to pull a Ti. So that's what it is.
Interesting. That's very interesting. Now, I want to switch gears for a second, going back towards Marla for a second in regards to working out. What would you say is the most basic routine you can pass along to another young lady of any age? Or what would you say would be the most important routine or exercise that someone should be concerned about with in regards to their health and the upkeep of their health?
I think, over, you got to say an age, but cardio, like just doing 30 to 60 minutes of activity where your heart rate is elevated to a certain point so that your body is getting those natural benefits from exercise, like making your heart like stronger. That's important. But when you're over age 40, I think like strength training, like using your own body weight, like dumbbells and things like that are important for you to look good, to keep your muscle mass to a certain point so that you can like function like a younger individual. You know what I mean? You can't just like walk for the rest of your life and be like, hey, I woke up and went for a walk every day and I'm 70 years old. You got to do some other stuff too to keep your body strong.
Okay, so mix it up.
I think it's a good mix up.
Okay.
Dad, she just blew my plan
We
out of the
definitely
water.
talked about that in the last show.
Yes.
My 15-minute walks every day, not gonna get it.
That ain't gonna cut it. That ain't gonna cut it, sis.
You should know better than that. Talk to your trainer that way. She was
And
gonna
I'm
have to
sitting here
check
with a
you on
bowl
that.
full in my
gotta do a little
hand,
more.
eating it right here. I'm all the way out of
Well,
order.
you know what, K-Dub, I'm glad you actually pointed that out. We wasn't going to say that to the audience because this
I'm
is
sorry.
audio, but you sitting there eating shrimp and lobster while
Hey,
we
look,
actually
I'm
discussing
starving. I was so hungry. I'm sorry.
So, well, you know what? That's what's real
Well,
about this show. What you think, fellas? This is what's real about this show. We
Yeah,
talk about
she guilty by
I'm
association.
guilty by y'all
Guilty by
association
association.
right now.
Yes, she
Yeah,
is.
I'm sorry, but we talk about women's health. She's drinking wine. She's eating lips,
Yes.
shrimp, and
It's
lobster.
good for your heart though.
It's red wine.
That's good
Well,
though.
she did validate that Marla did have a right.
Oh, definitely.
So.
Oh, definitely.
So
Now, if you're trying to get high school skinny and your sexy back, Marla will have you there.
You know who to see.
All the way
That's
there.
right.
I just try to get people at their best self. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I have a lot of women that come in and they're like, oh my God, I want to get back to where I was at high school. And I'm like, all right, let's go. So I just try to help you pull out from yourself what you know you had before, get your sexy back.
Yeah, Marla made me do a plank for like 5 minutes. I thought I had internal bleeding. Like, but I felt good though. I was feeling good.
That's right. That's right.
Now, what about how important is diet when it comes to working out? Because I know a lot of people, including myself, I can get it in the gym, but when
God.
but when I see that Pizza Hut commercial or something like that, that's
oh my God.
that's where it gets you. So I mean, how important is it? Because you can give them all the training, the physical training.
Listen.
But diet really takes discipline. So
listen. I mean, you can work out twice a day, every day. You can whatever. Diet is 85%.
Yeah.
It's 85%. So that's why I also say I'm a health coach too, because you have to tell people what to eat and like what not to eat, because they might come and sign up for 4 times a week. I'm not no miracle worker. You're gonna have to start with what you're eating. You know what I mean? First, you got to realize like what you should eat. You know what I mean? And that's a whole practice within itself that people don't want to take time with. So I just try to make it simple for you. But yeah, you can't look at the Pizza Hut commercial and say like, all right, I'm gonna go to the gym and then eat a pizza.
Yeah.
Because it's a discipline to it. It's definitely a discipline.
Yes.
And as we was talking about the last show, abs are made in the kitchen. I always would say that. If you want to have abs, it's a lot of what you're eating. It really is a lot of what you're eating. So if you can keep that, that's across the board, male and female. you
That
definitely
reminds me of that reminds me of a story where I was in the gym, and this trainer was telling me, actually it was a client who was telling me, who was a trainer, how he was working this lady out, and she had the nerve to be walking on the treadmill with a sandwich.
Uh-uh.
And it was like,
She tried it.
You violated. Flag on the play.
I was hungry. I was hungry on my way here. You know, I guess he had a setup where you go ahead and get started on the treadmill. When I get
let me
there,
my warm-up
you
in
know,
and
so she got warmed up. She eating the sandwich,
oh
eating a
my
burger.
God.
Oh man,
I think I would slap somebody's hand if they did
Yo,
that. Like,
That's-
are you
out of
serious?
that's
order.
ridiculous.
Okay,
Yeah, be
so
crying.
let's hand it to Marla. So what would you do in regards to that? If you had a client who took the information you gave them and kind of threw it to the wind, like, what do you do in a situation like that?
Well, most of the time people do that. You know what I mean? Like, they pay me for my services first,
Mm-hmm.
and then they realize, like, all right, she ain't playing. Like, she told me not to eat no French fries, and I ate them anyway. And then the scale still saying the same thing. And I'm gonna ask you over and over again. It's kind of about the accountability. Like, all right, are you gonna like do this, or I'm gonna keep asking you about it? So most of the time, like, people don't really realize, and it takes them 3 to 6 months to get that nutrition is everything. They gotta want it bad enough to say, I'm not ordering the French fries and chicken tenders. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get some salmon and broccoli. So most of the time that's really the case, and people like get it like for a short period of time. But then once they see like over a period of time, if they're eating right, what results they can see, then they're like, oh, this is what I had to do, you know? So
Yeah.
a lot of times people really don't believe it.
Right. So numbers don't lie. So you can
Numbers
say you're
don't
doing
lie.
one thing.
And you can see, like, you can even see, like, if a client comes in over the weekend, I'm like, oh, how was your weekend? I could tell, like, what you was doing, you know what I mean?
Turning
Like,
up and
why are you looking so puffed up,
Right.
you know?
Face puffy, all that stuff.
Yes. Then they put themselves on social media, and it's like, oh, you see them at all these different places and stuff. Like,
on blast.
you can't
It's
outsmart
hard
it.
Mm-hmm.
because
It's
I
hard.
literally
especially if
have
you
to
on the
make
go.
so I would literally have to make 3 different dinners. So my husband doesn't eat meat, chicken, none of that stuff. So I already have to make 2
Yeah.
separate sets of food anyway. Because the kids, they eating
Yeah.
chicken, they eating this and that. So I cook him his salmon, seafood, crab cakes, whatever it is he gonna eat. And then I cook the kids their meal. And then I just eat whatever. I eat a little bit of all of it.
You
I
the
eat everybody's leftover. I
scraps.
eat everybody's scraps. I just sit at the bottom of the table.
Mine's
Yeah.
the scraps.
So if I really,
We love you, Mom. We love you, Mom. We love you, Mom.
Bloody mom, eat this shit.
right, and nobody's gonna be eating the healthy stuff but me. And you talking about time. You talking about I got a full-time job. I got a couple of side hustles, and now I got a meal prep. But it takes discipline, and it has to be done. But it's a tall order. It's a tall order for me.
Like for moms, I think the easiest thing to do is that we got to cook for our men. They eat totally different. Our kids, they eat
Right.
totally different. It's like a la carte, like you a sous
Right.
chef, right? But if you keep like some greens or some vegetables like ready to go, like salad, or you might have like roasted some broccoli or something, you just have that available, like the green part, and just know that you're gonna eat that. It might not always be good, but it's like you gotta have something.
Yeah.
But we can't be eating like the leftover Cheez-Its and spaghetti and meatballs and the rest of the garlic bread.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We can't choose the bad.
Yeah, like my
thing.
dinner the other night was a half a block of cheese and some pita chips. Like
and a glass
and a
of
glass of
wine.
wine.
It goes perfect.
I'm just like I just cannot go on.
Oh, we
like
need to
this.
get you on the program. We need to get you on the
Yeah.
program. Okay, well now, K-Dub, we know you live out of
Yeah.
state. And Marla, you're here in North Carolina. Now, in regards to training, do you do virtual classes, Marla?
Well, I'm working on transitioning over to virtual training. Like, I don't do classes. I'm not a group exercise instructor. I'm like a private, like a one-on-one person. But since COVID, like, it's been such a high demand, people want to like be face to face. So I've been focusing on that here lately. So now I'm a transition to being like virtual coaching, but it won't be group type thing. It's like, all right, based on the individual needs, like I'll be your coach. I'll give you the accountability. Like it's not a cheap service. It's like people pay for how much accountability they want. At the end of the day, the more accountable a person is, they're going to see results. If they pay for like a cheap program and it's like, all right, well, simple, they may not follow it, but like I just am all in your face all the time. Some people want that, some people don't. So virtual, yes, coming soon,
Okay,
but it'll be more virtual coaching.
that's good to hear. Hey, fellas, now I had asked you earlier, do you have any questions? And now feel free if
Get
you
the
have any
door.
questions you want to ask the
I've
ladies, want to
I've
bring out.
I've asked mine. I do got another one though. I hear a lot about fibroids. Um, are y'all familiar with that? How ladies probably can avoid them, or
Yeah, fibroid almost took me out seriously when I had my last child. I had I've always struggled with fibroids, and so I had one that over the years had grown, and so when I had my last baby, I had to get a C-section. The fibroid was actually blocking the baby, and the doctor had to cut the fibroid out in order to be able to get to my baby to take my baby out. And when they cut that fibroid out, I bled out. And so, I mean, it was a point where it was kind of iffy. So it's serious. It's serious. They had blood transfusions, all that stuff. Even my husband, he'll tell you, he was like, I've never seen that much blood in my life. They literally had to snatch the sheet off the bed that I was laying on and throw it on the floor because the doctors were sliding all over the floor in my blood.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's serious.
Wow.
So and that goes back to having those annual exams, because I knew just from having those exams every year that fibroids were an issue. And it wasn't really too much that I could do about it, but I was at least aware of it, and my doctor was aware, and there was a plan in place in case something went left. And so, yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're here. My wife had the same issue, but not to that degree, but dealing with the fibroids as well. So she had to do the C-section twice.
So what's crazy is like fibroids, you can I do like preventative, like if you have something that's wrong, what can you eat to avoid it? And a lot of it happens like, all right, well, if you drink high consumptions of caffeine, if you drink high consumptions of alcohol, you eat processed meats, those things contribute, they grow the fibroid. That's like fueling the fibroid.
Wow.
So in order to prevent it, you have to eat foods that are the opposite. So like, if you do drink caffeine, you got to combat it with like water. You know what I mean? Like if you should not eat like processed meats at all. Like that's the number one cause of cancer. It fuels fibroids. It's just horrible. You know what I mean? But you have to do those foods that eat like antioxidants, like fruits and vegetables and things. It sounds like so cliche, but that's kind of like what it is. And we just, African American women are just at such high risk of it all. And we go through it like it's normal, but it's not a normal thing.
Yeah.
So if you know you have fibroids, you should start eating foods that like decrease the risk factor, because it's kind of like, Kim, it's a life or death situation. When you have a kid, you can't even, some people can't even have kids that got fibroids.
Right.
Wow.
You can't even have them. It's just like a growth in your uterus. It's like, all right, well, where did this come from?
You know, that's the one. I'm glad you said fruits and vegetables, because that's the one universal thing that every doctor and trainer will agree on, that we need to consume those. So thanks for.
So it's like not like we should eat a lot of greens, like a lot.
So Marla, let me ask you this: when you say processed meats, are you talking about like, what do you mean processed meat?
Processed meats are like deli meat, bacon, sausage, anything in a can, hot dogs. So when you do purchase like meats that may be like a hot dog for your kid, you might want to get like no nitrates, because nitrates are the things that like add sodium, and those are the things that like preserve it over a period of time so that they can sell it. but you have to get things that have no nitrates. So like say you eat bacon, like pork bacon, that's fine, but you have to get the ones that have no nitrates because there's no fillers, or like uncured bacon. You know, so processed meats are bacon, pepperoni, sausage, deli meats, you know.
Everything, doggone
Okay,
it.
so
Yeah.
what?
The
So what do
whole
you
meat,
eat?
whole meat
What do
lovers
you
pizza.
eat and
The whole
substitute
meat
for
lovers
that?
pizza.
I don't like, I mean, if I eat bacon, it might be uncured, or I just don't eat it. My boyfriend be tripping because he's like, what the fuck is this? Like, this ain't, I'm not eating this, you know what I mean?
Like my kids
Or just
eat
like,
turkey sandwiches all the time for like lunch.
but you can get, yeah, so you can get like turkey meat that's like uncured, or you can even cook like a whole turkey, like cook a whole turkey breast and make them a turkey sandwich. Or you can get the turkey deli meat that has no nitrates in it.
Okay, no nitrates. I got you.
Because it's I seen a show on
No, it's in the, on the
Netflix some years
counter.
ago. I'm not sure if you guys have seen the same show, and this could be helpful to everybody. It was called "What the Health."
I was gonna
I don't know if
say
you've
this is
seen
Yeah.
it.
what the
You've
hell.
seen that?
Yeah, that's crazy.
It was really eye opening because it was so eye opening. I stopped eating meat for about over 30 days, like all
Mhm.
kind of meats. 'Cause I was just scared to eat anything, and the fact that I'm saying it scared me is actually it's a good thing because we are just in a society that we just want everything now.
Yeah.
We go to the grocery store, we throw it in the cart, we go home, we cook it. And Kim, KW, like you were saying, your time is limited. You just got to cook it and feed these people. So sometimes you
Yeah.
might not have the time to say, well, I ain't got time to filter out what's good and what's bad. But in the interim, I mean, in the long run, I should say, it's best to take that time if you can. And once you find, the right, I guess, formula or
Yeah.
types of meats and types of vegetables and types of food you can put into our system, is the better. Not everybody can afford to go to Whole Foods and get the best of everything.
Yeah.
That's understandable, but it would take maybe a couple more minutes while you're in the grocery store to find something like, as Marla was saying, without the nitrates, without the preservatives, something a little bit more
Or
healthy.
if you can't do that, just don't eat it. Like, just eat a sweet potato and some greens. Like, you can kind of like not have the meat part if you're not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about fish?
Definitely.
I mean, fish is tough. Like, I think fish is that's the easiest meat for us to digest. Like it gives us the protein that we need. You just have to watch, like, of course, like where it comes from. There's so many caveats that come to it, but is it the better choice? Yeah, because it processes like real easy. Like trout, like whitefish, you can go to like a fish market or something like that.
Man,
Okay.
I just got sleepy.
I hear a lot about mercury when it comes to fish, but like El Boog said, dang, we can't hardly eat nothing.
Yeah, that's what I said. If you don't want to think about it, just eat the sweet potato and some greens, so you ain't got to think about it.
Man, my family will put a pillow over my face when I'm asleep if I put dinner on the table and it's a sweet potato and some spinach. Like, they would murder me in the shower.
Or like if you go, you could get food that has like that's not no hormones. You don't want to buy like the cheapest like meat pack when you go to the store.
Right.
Like if you see some big ass chicken legs, like know that something is wrong with the chicken leg.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all in all, today in this episode, we've talked about our health in regards to our medical background, getting checkups. We talked about eating habits. We talked about exercising. We talked about alcohol intake, things of that nature. Now, flipping the script. Now, we're talking to the females. We talked about women's health. You guys gave a great background, personal things I didn't know about either one of y'all. You told about, which has been great. It's really eye opening to understand that you guys are so forthcoming with giving that information. But now let me ask a question to you. As far as women's health, what do you look for in a man in regards to a healthy man? What do you consider a healthy man? We're gonna change it. I know Big Mike would like this right here. So what would you like?
You know what? You actually, I was gonna ask that earlier, but
let's wrap it up with that.
That's a good one.
Because our audience is going to appreciate it.
They're going to appreciate that. What do y'all say?
Listen, your tummy cannot be hanging over your pants. Your stomach can't be hanging over your pants.
I was just
you can't be breathing all hard, walking up a hill, breathing hard, sweating.
I was just gonna say, if you looking like you about to go into labor and you a dude, that's not a good look. Like, if I gotta ask you how many months are you in your first, second, or third trimester? Yeah.
So that's it. You don't care about his eating habits. You don't care about his exercise routine. You just worry about
I mean, eating habits, of course. Like, if you sit down and order some food with somebody and they get the fried seafood platter and the fried food and French fries, like, it's a problem. Yeah. You're 45 and you're eating you can't do that.
Yeah.
You too old for this. You know what I mean?
I want you to at least act like you are aware of your health and you have some interest in being somewhat healthy. Yeah. Like, I don't want you to just be a damn slob. Like, damn, you just don't care what you put in your mouth.
Yeah. You want to see some greens on that plate.
You know what a lettuce head looks like?
Sitting there with your hands in your pants.
Yeah.
Do y'all think it's a double standard between with that being said, with men versus women when it comes to being out of shape?
It shouldn't be.
What's the question again?
I don't know if it is or isn't.
Do you think it's a double standard? Because it seems like I don't want to bring your boy up. You know, I know he got all. What's your boy that that be doing? That be calling all the ladies out on his show.
Kevin Samuels or
that whatever.
This show is nowhere in that regard, so you can bring him up.
Right? No, but I know he brings up a lot of his. I don't really get in rock with him like that, but I know he does point out the simple fact that it seems like it's like a double standard when it comes to men versus women, when it comes into like requests for shape and how they look and their looks and stuff like that.
How do y'all feel? Like when y'all have
shoot. I know women.
Big Mike.
That's one of the biggest misconceptions. Women are conscious about a man's looks. Because I know some guys, they don't have to do half of the work another man might have to do.
Right.
And she'll take a whole lot more mess. She'll give him a little bit more leeway. But we all just need to take care of ourselves regardless. You single, married, no matter what, you know.
Yeah, we just got to do better, people.
Yeah, for real. Everybody can't be like El Boog and Marla.
Yeah.
You know. Y'all look up. El Boog is all
buffed up.
Yeah, he's cut up. He looks like he's 30 again.
Well, that's just right. Because maybe because I'm just COVID has got me bored. That's probably all it is. COVID's got me bored. But actually, I appreciate the compliment. But what actually I would say that would go for male and female. It just takes focus. You know, if you can put your focus.
Yeah,
put your focus into what you find important.
Yeah.
And a lot of the things we talked about today, like my children, I want, like K-Dub said, I want to be around for my kids, my grandkids. I was honored enough to walk my daughter down the aisle. That was a life goal.
Yeah.
So to say that and to do it and I guess look halfway decent, you know, in the wedding pictures and things of that nature, that was something I was very proud of. But it really takes the focus of the male or the female as to what you want to do. You know, because it takes a long time to get where you want, but it takes that long to destroy it.
Tell me about
so if I get into a slump, if I get into a slump and start eating everything and denying doing, you know, little routines, whatever the case may be, you know, the weight will just come back on quickly, you know, or stress. You can lose all that weight and be wore out.
Do you think your like support system has a lot to do with like how we are, like your spouses or your does that like help or hurt us? Like
helps.
Oh yeah.
I definitely believe in that.
It helps and hurt.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Depending on who you're with or not with, you know.
Right.
Because I've lost weight, I've gained weight, you know, from two different ends of the spectrum, you know, and you know, both of them were not good looks.
Yeah. I told my husband, I said, look, when he knows I'm serious, then he'll snap too. I say, look, we're gonna come out of this COVID situation looking like Mr. and Mrs. Clump. So we're not doing that. So, and he'll know that I'm serious, and we'll start getting our diets together and our exercise right. So, it's waves.
Yeah, I got support too. I feel like actually I get more of I kind of lead it because I think my wife, she always commend me on being more committed to whenever I make my mind to start working out more often, then she'll kind of like follow my lead too. So it's kind of like that extra, motivation that I know I could kind of help lead in that aspect. So,
That's good.
That's what's up.
Well, I can definitely say, we just want to wrap up this show, but I just want to give a salute to everybody on this panel who joined us today. You all look good, male and female. I've known you for some years. I've seen people on this video who've been skinny. I've seen people who are looking great today, present day. Y'all know me when I had hair. So we come a long way. We still got a long way to go. I think
you weren't the only one. We had some hair.
We all had some hair, We all still here.
None of y'all don't have hair.
Nope.
When? You said when?
I said none of y'all don't have hair.
Nope, we don't.
Not now, but
it's over.
That's a while back.
Yeah.
It's a while back. But it don't matter to me. That's all good, But just to let you know, to our listeners, we're going to put on all of Marla's information on our comment section and the links. We'll get all her. Marla, why don't you give us your Instagram or any of your...
Yeah, my Instagram is Marla Stroud _. It's just Marla Stroud, STROUD _. And that's where I house like most of my like fitness stuff. So if you want to like get at me, you just visit me right there.
Fantastic.
Now go check out. Get right.
Check out Marla. I guarantee, I vouch for the fact that she'll get you right, male and female. So we don't exclude anybody, but we wanted to give homage to the ladies today. We'll thank you for coming on for Guilty by Association's podcast. We truly appreciate your honesty, your brutal honesty, I should say, and revealing some things that we didn't know about you, and also some things we didn't know about females in general. So we're always open to get more educated. Me, Big Mike, and Alexander, we think we know it all, but we don't.
No, we don't.
We're here for you guys.
Yeah.
We don't.
Thanks for having us.
You gotta have the ladies.
That's right.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for having. It's always good to see y'all, my NC fam.
Yeah.
All right. Well, no doubt. Well, definitely make sure y'all like and subscribe, share, and we appreciate it as always. So on that note, I'm Alexander.
I'm Big Mike.
I'm El Boogie.
In the building.
All right.